Reminder of the breaking news that Robbie Savage has been named as the new Forest Green manager, and he joins us live now. Good morning, Robbie. Congratulations. I just wanted to start with a quote of yours from March, if I may, on Macclesfield. It says, "It's my club, and it's not very often you can manage your club, the one you've built from the first brick with your best friend, so it would take an awful lot for me to leave." So Forest Green must be an awful lot. Why?
First and foremost, thank you. It's an unbelievable opportunity for me and my family. You know, I've had 4 unbelievable scenes at Macclesfield, both as the director of football and latterly a manager, where we broke every single record. My players, my staff, I've got huge admiration for them. If it wasn't for that group, I wouldn't be standing here as the new Forest Green Rovers manager. So I'll always be indebted to Rob Smethurst and Macclesfield for giving me this opportunity. But when you see the plans of Dale, I see for Mark Bowen where they want to take this football club. They want to get into the Championship. They've got an unbelievable training ground, brand new facility, the new stadium on the horizon. So I just thought at this moment in time for me and my family, it was a perfect opportunity and another project. You know, it's a great opportunity for me to go and showcase my talents with my staff, you know, in a league above.
Just on your talents then, Robbie, did it surprise you how well you took to management? And you touched on all those records. I think we said it when the news broke, 109 points, 109 goals. It's easy business, this game, isn't it?
No, it's very difficult, but you're only as good as your staff and your players. And I had the best players in the league. Had the best staff in the league with a wonderful fan base. So again, I'm not surprised because I know my dedication, what I've sacrificed, my desire, my ambition. So no, it didn't surprise me. Listen, I've got an amazing opportunity here, a new group of players. Obviously, they've done unbelievable last year, finishing 3rd, 3 minutes from Wembley, lost in the playoff semi-final. So if I can enhance them, you know, bring the average age of the squad down, create a new, dynamic, young squad, playing front foot football, scoring goals. You know, the academy as well, so important to me, bringing young players through, giving young players a pathway at Forest Green and young coaches a pathway. So I'm going to embrace the culture. It's a wonderful football club. You know, Dale, Asif, Mark Bowen were key to me coming. You know, my son was here on his first loan. He had a wonderful time. Me and my family were treated unbelievably well. So I'm ready for a challenge, but it's something that I'm going to thrive on.
Let's just touch on the owner then, because he's made some really interesting managerial appointments in recent seasons. What is it about the conversations you had with Dale that really piqued your interest that this was a project for you?
Well, you know, I sat with him at games when my son was here. We had good conversations. You know, he cares. This is it was the first village club to get into the EFL. You know, it's a community club. You know, Dale works extremely hard with Asif to give this community a football club, something they could be proud of. So he told me the ambition. I see in the training ground, it's full time. It's something that I've always been used to throughout my, you know, my football career. So again, and when you see the new stadium and all the plans, and listen, as soon as I sat down with Dale, Asif and Mark, and they told me the ambition they want to be in the Championship, something that I'm going to relish. And listen, I understand football. You know, my time at Mac was amazing, but you know, the people were saying if I don't do well, will I sack myself at Macclesfield? So I know I'm in a position now if I don't do well and results aren't great. I know the consequences, but I've always loved the challenge. I've always been out to prove people wrong. You know, but it's important for me that I have good people around me. Dale, Asif and Mark Bowen, who was key to me coming as well. You know, I've got a great relationship with Mark Bowen. That's a great appointment for the football club. So I'm ready. And, you know, I want to work for good people. Listen, I'm a people's person. I'm in it for my players. I'm in it for my staff. As hopefully the staff and the players at Macclesfield will tell you that. Hopefully they will. I'm sure there'll be a few disappointed Macclesfield fans and anger. Of course, you know, I read, I see stuff, negativity, but all I know is that for 4 years of my life, I put the club before my family, and for the first time in a long time I have to think about me and my family, and this opportunity is perfect.
On you as a manager then, you will have played under some of the greats of the modern era. What are the key bits and bobs do you think that you've taken from some of those that you've worked under that you want to channel into making you a success?
Yeah, fortunately for me, I've worked with some unbelievable people, and I spoke to Martin O'Neill yesterday, who's more than willing to come down and sit with me and have a cup of coffee. I've spoke to Brendan Rodgers, Sean Dyche. I've spoke to football people, and as soon as this opportunity came about, they said it's an unbelievable opportunity for you. So as a manager, I try to take little snippets from each one, but I think I'm a good motivator. I'm a good man manager. I believe I know how to get the best out of a collective, but more importantly, an individual. I've been in their shoes numerous times. I've suffered disappointment. I've suffered setbacks. I've experienced highs and lows, and I'm relatable. As I say, I've got a young son at Reading, who's relating stuff to me as well in terms of, the modern era of football. So, again, if I can take little things from everybody, I think we'll do well. But it's the biggest thing for me is I want to be around good people. There's so many unbelievable people at Macclesfield, some unbelievable people left behind. But it's a new challenge, it's a new chapter, and I'm ready for it.
I want to come to Charlie in just a moment. Just one final one on Forest Green before that. You spoke about the ambition and how close the club were to getting into that playoff final last season. Has it been pretty clear from Dale that he expects promotion first time round?
Listen, I think we're both straight talking people. I've signed a 4-year contract. If I'm in a job for 4 years, who knows? But I think the ambition is to, with Mark, is create an identity of a football club. I think we want to, bring back fun, entertainment for the fans, edge of the seat football. And at Macclesfield, we had that. I think the key thing for me as well is integrating, the young players into the first team. Having dinner together, being around the training ground together. Those young players need to look up to first team players. So the culture we want to create here, with a Cat 3 Academy, we want to keep hold of that status. We want to build a football club and give this fan base, who I've got to win over. I know that, but we want to create a brand of football which they can, when they put that Forest Green shirt on, they come into a game, they want to be excited. So again, yeah, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to have fun, entertainment. But listen, I know, Rob, I'm going to be judged on results. I can adapt as a manager. I can make good substitutions. As I think we scored the most goals from substitutions. I can change formations, so I'm not stubborn. And I met the staff yesterday and the players today. And I think they're ready for it. I can see already they've got a little bit of spring in their step. But listen, we all know if I lose lots of games, which I'm not intending to do, I know the consequences. But I'm going to be positive. Hopefully, to answer your question, if we can improve on last year and give it a go and have a brand of football that excites, and the fans of Macclesfield and know how we played, and I want to bring that philosophy here, and win games of football.
Just finally then, I've seen you a good few times padding through the press room at Reading in the last couple of seasons, watching Charlie. They've been such a great team to watch because young players dying for the cause. He must be so excited about a new era with a new owner because it has been pretty desperate off the field for the last couple of seasons, which must have affected Charlie at times.
Mark Bowen, who took Charlie to Reading, and Mark Bowen created an unbelievable squad at Reading. The circumstances, free transfers, he created a young, dynamic squad. If you look at the players that Mark brought into Reading and the amount of value and transfer fees they got, since Mark's left, is a credit and testament to him. So that's one of the huge reasons I come. And on Charlie, he's ambitious, he's young. Noel Hunter's done an unbelievable job for him. So again, they've got a huge season ahead. And one of the big reasons, Rob, that I come is when I spoke to my two sons, Charlie and Freddie, and they said, "Go for it, Dad, we're proud of you." That's all I needed to hear. We're all on the same page, me and my family. I'm a family person. I want to make my family proud. I wish my dad was here. Unfortunately, he's no longer here. I'm sure he'd be proud of me, as my mum will be. So again, you know, if I can instill all my values and beliefs into my players, which Charlie's carried to Reading, again, we'll have hopefully a successful season.
I'm sure you will. Wish you all the best for the season ahead. Thanks so much for speaking to us, Robbie.